Hello and welcome to TTV News with some latest event in TayNinhTV province. Ladies and gentlemen, continuing the 7th meeting in the early mornings of June 3rd, Ministers of Culture, Sport and Tourism Nguyễn Văn Hưng, authorized by Prime Minister, read the proposal for decision on investment policies of the National Target Program on Cultural Development in the periods of 2025 to 2035.
The program set out 9 specific target groups until 2030 and 9 specific target groups until 2035. The government requests the National Assembly to approve the program implementation period of 2025-2035. Specifically, 2025 will only focus on building a policy framework and preparing for investment. 2026-2030 focus on solving limitations and challenges posed in recent times. 2031-2035 continues to develop culture to become an endogenous strength of the Vietnamese economy.
On the mornings of June 3rd, Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, Provincial Party Secretary, Chairman of Provincial People's Council, along with delegates of Provincial and TayNinhTV People's Council, meet voters in Hiệp Ward, TayNinhTV.
At the meeting, there were 4 opinions in which voters in quarters 1 and 6 raised a number of recommendations on the city's public investment, expressing voters' interest in the process of the city, striving to upgrade the urban class from rich to poor. In addition, voters also had some opinions related to paying land taxes, resolving land trade records, and giving suggestions for methanol detoxification points in the area. Ms. Nguyễn Thị Hoàng and Vice Chairwoman of the City People's Committee acknowledged voters' comments and answered voters' questions fully and in detail.
On the same morning, Chairman of Provincial People's Committee Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc and the reps of delegates of Provincial and City People's Council meet with voters in Thanh Tân Community in City.
Speaking at the meeting, voters of Tân Bình Commune proposed to the People's Council of TayNinhTV Province and City on the issue of renting and changing land use rights. The comments were answered by the leaders of the People's Council of Tân Bình Commune right at the meeting. At this place, Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc also informed more about the contents of rule at the 11th and 12th sessions of the Provincial People's Council of the 10th Provincial People's Council 2021-2026 term. It emphasized that the thematic resolutions passed at the meetings have practical significance and bring many benefits to the people, including the resolution stipulating the spending content and level of support for implementing the One Commune One Product program in TayNinhTV Province in the period of 2024-2025. And the resolution stipulating a number of other local policy subjects to be borrowing capital from the local budget capital entrusted through the Bank for Social Policies in TayNinhTV Province will create conditions for people to produce and develop agricultural products in the area in the direction of creating a brand, or forming the commune's product brand, creating motivation for people to feel secure in production, contributing to improving their life. On the afternoon of June 3rd, the State Committee for Overseas Vietnamese held a press conference to inform about the results of 20 years of implementing Resolution 36 of the Politburo on Overseas Vietnamese Work. Accordingly, Resolution number 36 has created a major turning point in the work of overseas Vietnamese, built on the foundation of our party and state's social policy that overseas Vietnamese are an indispensable part, an important resource of the Vietnamese ethnic community and the spirit of rich national solidarity. Resolution has helped raise awareness and sense of responsibility in implementing work for Vietnamese people abroad from both directions, has contributed to supporting people to stabilize their life in their host country, maintain and spread the love for Vietnamese national cultural identity towards the homeland, the country, and the rise of the Vietnamese community in the country. Foreigners are getting closer and closer to domestic citizens, making it more convenient to return home to work, invest, and do business. On June 3rd, the People's Committee of Đồng Nai Province said it has sent a document to the National Assembly Standing Committee on the handling of landfill from the Long Thanh Airport project to serve the Biên Hòa Vũng Tàu Expressway. Long Thanh Airport has an area of 5,000 hectares. Currently, the project is constructing phase 1 on an area of more than 2,500 hectares. The remaining land area in phase 2 of the project has not yet been approved and is being managed by the locality. The T3 terminal planning area has a very large height difference compared to the area under construction of Long Thanh Airport phase 1 from 8 to 10 meters. The lowering of altitude is necessary so as not to affect airport operations. When exploiting land here, it will be convenient in transportation and reduce costs. In addition, the T3 station planning area has been cleared and no land procedures are required. Responding to Achievement for Drug Prevention and Control, International Day for Drug Prevention and Control, and on People's Day for Drug Prevention and Control on June 26 every year, the Provincial People's Committee issued a plan of peak achievement for drug prevention and control in 2024. Accordingly, the Provincial People's Committee requested the Provincial Police to direct police forces at all levels to advise the Party Committee and the government to organize the synchronous implementation of the peak period, strengthen investigation, detection, arrest, and soon conclude and recommend prosecution of those who buy, sell, store, transport, and organize the illegal use of narcotics, speed up the investigation of drug cases, especially high-profile cases, to organize mobile trials, advise People's Committees at all levels to implement the construction of drug-free communes wards and towns, fight to transform complex areas and gathering places, or from new drug gathering places in residential areas, strengthen review statistics and grasp the situation of drug addicts and illegal drug users for management, especially in key and complex areas with large concentrations of workers in industrial and export processing zones, large urban construction projects, actively coordinate closely with relevant authorities to actively implement the work of identifying addiction status, proactively prepare documents to apply appropriate detoxification measures. Through surveys and monitoring of the operations of the facilities, it has been shown that the situation of cultural sports and radio centers in localities still faces many difficulties and inadequacies. Some centers are frequently closed, functional rooms are not fully utilized, and facilities lack funds to maintain maintenance activities. Some centers are even closed or abandoned, leading to serious deterioration, causing local people to worry about the possibility of wasted investment. Some units have great opportunities to socialize activities at the center. However, the mechanisms for managing and using public access at public service units still has many constraints and obstacles, so it cannot be implemented. Currently, the number of taxpayers with tax debt of less than 1 million Vietnam dong is very large, most of them for a long time. In case of temporary suspension of visit, the tax authorities shall review, compare, and accurately determine the tax payment obligations of taxpayers. In the case of temporary visit suspension, before sending a notice requesting postponement of visit to immigration authorities and taxpayers so that they can complete their tax payment obligations before leaving the country.
Ladies and gentlemen, recently on social networking platforms, many accounts have posted articles about purchasing, renting, and borrowing personal information, identification documents, or bank accounts. By not being aware of these dangers, many people can indirectly support criminal activity and face the risk of being prosecuted administratively or criminally.
Because the immediate small profit is a few 100,000 to a few million dong, many people are ready to rent or sell their bank accounts without knowing about the risk of being fined dozens of times more, not to mention possibility of being criminally prosecuted for assisting criminals in fraud and money laundering. Recently, the police in some localities boosted a network illegally buying and selling information about bank accounts with a number of thousands. Mainly, the sellers were students, low-income workers, and these accounts are used by buyers to commit crimes for high-tech criminal organizations, online fraud, online gambling, and money laundering on a large scale transnational in nature, with amounts of up to trillions of dollars. The choice of the subjects are to post information on forums and social networking groups about renting and buying bank accounts, and reaching out to low-income workers and people who lack knowledge about law or students to rent a bank account to receive money. After opening an account, the account owner must hand over internet banking login information, account registration phone SIM, and bank card to the subject. Subjects will use these bank accounts to commit illegal acts, especially fraudulent appropriation of property. Someone introduced themselves as working in a bank, asked for a few minutes to tell how to register to open an account. They often take advantage of our cupidity and gullibility or difficulty. So even though it's difficult, we should ask our relatives or the others who know more knowledge about banking. We should not provide information to open an account. Students and people should not absolutely open accounts for others to sell or rent out. This is a violation of the law and can be subject to administrative sanctions of 40 to 50 million Vietnam dong, depending on the severity. Very large fines can result in criminal penalties of up to 7 years in prison for buying and selling 20 or more accounts and making illegal profits of over 20 million Vietnam dong. When people and students discover someone calling to buy or rent a bank account, they should immediately report it to the nearest police department. For bank accounts that have been opened for sale, lease, or loan, you need to quickly go to the bank's transaction office to request to close the account. At the same time, immediately notify the police for handling to avoid serious consequences.
Ladies and gentlemen, beside the advantages of majestic natural landscape, Nha Trang District, Ninh Province is also where a large number of Hmong ethnic people live. Realizing the potential in tourism development, the management boards of TayNinhTV Ecotourism Area and a number of members of Ninh Provincial Travel Association come with the idea build and put into operation the product Hmong Tourist TayNinhTV, aim to preserve and promote the unique cultural beauty while multiplying the pride, love, and awareness of cultural preservation of the local Hmong community.
Welcoming guests with the postling cheerful sounds of gongs, floats of Hmong girls in colorful traditional costume makes domestic and foreign tourists excited. This is the first unique point for visitors when coming to Hmong tours TayNinhTV. Music and activities associated with the identity of the Hmong ethnic group help visitors' cultural experience journey become more attractive and engaging.
For us to come and see historical tradition, it's really enjoyable.
To do this, the organizing committee has encouraged Hmong people to form performance teams and recreate daily activities at their houses. In addition, promote communication and connection work, introducing tours and experience routes for domestic and international tourists, as well as connecting and introducing domestic travel agencies. We collect documents, cultural data, and products of the Hmong people and work with people to build and perfect them. The product ensures authenticity and integrity, thereby deeply exploiting the heritage tourism and archaeology of TayNinhTV. Mungtu's TayNinhTV Cave is a tourism route with many advantages. It is a combination of a tour to visit TayNinhTV Cave with experiencing activities such as cooking class, cycling, farming, or fighting understand some factors related to geology, archaeological sites. In that cultural space, visitors can experience and connect with nature, blending colorful and rich Hmong culture with cuisine of indigenous people. Strongly arousing and exploiting the traditional culture of the Hmong ethnic people is the approach of people and businesses in Ninh Bình province, contributing to the development of local tourism while promoting the cultural beauty of the ethnic people here. At the current season change, although there have been heavy rains, the weather is still warm after the first rains of the season. The large amplitude of changes between day and night temperatures is also an unfavorable condition for the health of livestock, especially chickens and ducks, raised in the traditional way in open cages without safe covers. With many years of experience in the profession, Mr. Nguyễn Văn Duy, owner of a chicken farm in Tân Phú Commune, Tân Châu district, always keeps the chicken kept cool during the day, covered tightly and warm enough at night. Fully vaccinate chickens from one day on, disinfect the barn periodically. His chicken farm always maintains the capacity to raise several thousand chickens, is always healthy, and has never had an epidemic. Tân Châu district has a large poultry herd with a total of nearly 2 million heads. Recently, the poultry farming sector has developed stably. Diseases have been tightly controlled. Only a few small outbreaks have appeared in small farmers and been promptly controlled. In 9 large-scale chicken farms in Tân Châu, there are 1.6 million chickens, accounting for 85% of the total flock. The number of chickens raised on a small scale is only 90,000. Large farms have almost no epidemics. Animal husbandry veterinary staff always increase close monitoring of small farms that lack safety from disease, instructing farmers to strengthen prevention measures, especially during times of season changes. Tân Châu district had just been recognized as a disease-free area for bird flu and Newcastle, but there are still many small poultry households. Pathogens always exist. Outbreaks can appear, especially in farming households lack biosecurity. At the time of changing seasons, the animal husbandry and veterinary industry recommends that farmers across the province need to increase care for livestock. In addition to fully vaccinating, increasing disinfection of pens need to increase the amount of nutrition for animals, applying biosecurity measures throughout the farming period.
That's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.